Okay, so Ohana Unfiltered.
Ohana Unfiltered.
You have bourbon tonight,
I do.
but I'm just sticking to my tea.
That was my one stipulation to doing these is I get to drink bourbon while filming.
Tell me, it was.
It's in my contract
Yeah,
that I haven't signed.
yeah. Espresso martini and wine are definitely good options, but I'm feeling my Stanley, my mom's Stanley tonight. Okay, so
Here we are. If you don't know, that's a baby.
That's a
Not
baby.
in her belly. Just to clarify,
just the head.
that is a baby.
We're going to
6 days old.
actually, I think so. He was born on the 8th, which was Saturday, and today's the 16th. So he's actually 8 days. I think I said 4, 5, 6 today, all different times because I don't know what day it is. But then I counted tonight, and I was like, actually, he's 8 days.
Math.
Math.
The math ain't math.
No. So this would be the second episode of what we've recorded, but I don't know what episode it actually is. But you would have hopefully already listened to the ride to the hospital.
And the reason why we're doing it this way is because right now we're living this and we just want to make sure that we capture
It.
every moment.
Yeah. So
Without further ado,
we got to the hospital and we went in. Nope.
on Valentine's Day,
Yes.
which I worked
Yes.
5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
so I was on shift.
And hold on, we actually the night before, until like 1, we had our little mini Valentine's Day
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
well, we didn't know.
Well, I was working too on Valentine's. I was getting off at noon.
But you were gonna be working on Valentine's, and I don't really know because we had plans to go out.
We did.
So I don't know why we did it the night before, but I think we were just like kind of led to be like, oh,
It's very spontaneous.
what if our plans don't go? Oh, well, we had dropped the car seat off, so we did know he would be coming home soon.
Soonish.
So we just thought like, let's just do something. So we had like at-home plans. But yeah, so then you work,
I did.
and then you get home, and then we get a call from CPI, who is Child Protective Investigator, who had called us. Well, a different one called us the day before to take the car seat. This one was the supervisor, who said, go and pick up said baby. And so a CPI is calling us, and they went to court at 11 and said, hey, go ahead and here's your papers. They gave us papers with our information to go. So the nurse calls us and says, it's time to go.
He's being discharged.
He's being discharged. So you know the call leading up to the hospital. We go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. We get there, and oddly enough, we're picking up the brother to Elijah
Yes.
in the same room that we picked Elijah up in.
Yeah.
How old was he?
June 30th, 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same room. When you dropped the car seat off, you even got to see the nurse.
The same nurse.
Same nurse.
I sure did. She still works there.
Yeah. So that was June 30th, 2023. So we get there and we're in the room and we got to see him. And for privacy, I'll probably not show him right now since we're talking about his case, just his head.
We're not talking about his case. We're just
Well,
talking
no,
about
it's story.
life
But
and-
yeah, just for privacy.
we can't talk about his case.
Yeah, no. So we're there and we go through, we take the education stuff, which
Oh, that's so fun.
they make us do the infant CPR, which he could write. And they make us do like infant stuff, like baby back to bed, how many diapers, which I clinically manage clinical writings as well for providers and patients through my job, and teach this to providers and patients and umpteen amounts of patients over 13 years. So quite funny when I do it, but whatever. They have to do their job, so I check all the boxes for them.
This is unfiltered. I may or may not have watched those videos and just checked the check marks.
Okay, because I've written those videos practically. So there was that, and
15 to 2.
so we get them all, or we get them all done. We sign the discharge papers. But through all this, something I was like, wait a minute, we got a, what do you call that thing that we got? A shelter order, but we didn't get a placement letter. So I dig into it for a minute, and I find out that we were given a shelter order with our full names on it, which was lovely. Welcome to the system. And shelter order as a non-relative placement, which means we're not a relative, but we know of said family because we have the brother. So we call our placement, and they were like, you can't take this baby. Placement coordinator or intake and placement lady. She was like, you can't take this baby home. He's discharged. We have to take him home.
So now we're in a predicament where we're at the hospital with a baby patient who was discharged from the hospital, but DCF is telling us that we are unable to take the baby home because we don't have a placement letter. So we're in this weird legal paperwork.
So the hospital's like, we have
It's like
your
the
paperwork.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we have your paperwork. And so this is all happening at this point at like 4 o'clock.
We got to the hospital at
2
o'clock.
So this is going on now. It's 4 o'clock. And we're waiting for what's called an overcap. And the reason why we're waiting for an overcap is because we have a 19-month-old and we have a 4-month-old. So we have 2 under 2. Well, that's the max you're allowed to have. So now we have 3 under 2.
Hence the overcap.
Which already, again, I get it. For us, though, babies are super easy.
Obviously.
Yeah. And like, to me, I could get 3 teens or 3 10-year-olds and it's okay. But anyways, whatever. I get they have to like check their boxes. So
not everybody is us.
Already all week we had like fought to get this over cap. I had to write letters of all of our supports and how we're gonna manage 3 under 2. For me, I'm like
3 NICU babies.
3 NICU babies, which are not NICU babies because little man was in the NICU for 48 hours.
So maybe you guys can answer this question because DCF was not able to. When you are in the NICU after you were born, as you age, at what point do you stop being a NICU baby? Because they said Elijah, who is
19
months now, is still technically considered a NICU baby. And I was like, okay, well, technically Ethan, our son, was in the NICU for transition issues after he was born. And he's 13 years old, so is he technically a NICU baby? Like, at what point do we stop saying he was a NICU baby?
And I think what's important is, like, both... Well, Ethan had a little nose in him. But anyways.
Did he?
Like, with... Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because he pulled it out. Remember,
That's
they were like,
right.
He's so strong, he
I
pulled
thought
it
that
out.
was his IV he pulled out.
And he had just the nasal cannula.
Oh, the nasal
Yeah,
cannula.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, but Elijah didn't have anything.
No, he didn't.
He was nothing.
Same with him. He didn't have anything.
I think there was something he had for like, but the first day,
before
that
we
was it.
got there.
Yeah, like on day 1, that was it. But like no like trach, and I think he had like a nasal cannula or some like breathing support, little face thing. But no no tubes and wires, and yeah, he had the little heart things and the foot thing, but like
I would
every
expect
baby
to
pretty
see
much
that
has
in the
that
NICU.
in the NICU. So they're mainly there for observation. He just had to gain a little weight, feed a little bit better. He was literally just there until we could get home from, we were out of town, Tennessee, I think. So anyways, to me, they're not NICU babies. Now, baby girl was probably the most NICU baby because she was born at 32 weeks, 3 pounds. So she was on all the things and had episodes and all this. So she's the only one that I would say was a NICU baby. Okay, so we had to already fight, show like our support and all this stuff. And then they still didn't approve it. We got in, they're back and forth. We're still waiting, asking us all this stuff. And then they message us, or they call me at like 7 p.m. to tell me we were denied. I think I need a gavel.
Yeah. Denied.
Because our crib was a mini crib. And I sent a picture of our master bedroom, which has a bassinet next to it. And there was stuff in it. No babies were harmed in the making of this movie or the making of a bassinet next to the thing that had the stuff because I cleared off my bed.
What had happened was she made the bed, and in the process of making the bed, put some pillows that were on the bed into the bassinet and just didn't move them back from the bassinet into the crib, which I'm sure, as you'll hear in other videos, I am against pillows on the bed. She does like decorative pillows on the bed, and she's like, oh, but what are they hurting? Look what they've done. It's the pillow's fault. We could have been home on Valentine's Day with a new baby if it wasn't for decorative pillows. Anyway, on that note, we're going to move on.
I had like 15 decorative pillows at one point. I now have 3.
Good job.
So we could go back to 15 if you would like.
And then that's just going to slow down the process of helping babies. Jesus's work was slowed down by decorative pillows.
Wow. This is a bit sideways. Okay, getting back on track. Okay, decorative pillows. What else? Oh, so the picture. So anyways, needless to say, I teach safe sleep. Nothing in the crib, tight fitting sheet. I say it 50,000 times a day. So I'm like, really? Anyways, we didn't even need the bassinet. We had other beds. But then they were saying that like Elijah can't be in the twin bed. Anyways, so needless to say, they told us we needed to get 3 cribs.
Oh, and the mini crib that we had was a drop-down crib, which it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
So anyways.
But how do you prove that at
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock at night now.
On Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day.
So we come home and we set up 3 cribs.
2. One was already set up.
Correct. 2 more cribs.
2 additional cribs.
And we
scrambled around.
Yes.
I left her at the hospital.
Mm-hmm. On Valentine's Day.
Drove through Orlando, through Seminole County traffic in Altamont, leaving Altamont Hospital, which, if any of you know that area, is a pain.
Yeah.
Drove through Orlando traffic on I-4. Could have died. It is the most dangerous section of highway in the U.S. And then thought it is.
I know. Okay.
Stating facts. And then drove 408 traffic.
Yes. So he sets up the cribs, takes the pictures. We get denied.
Again, we got denied?
Well, she made me send the link.
Oh, send the link to proof. We had to. So the
Prove that it was a
pictures weren't
standard
enough.
crib.
We had to send the link of the actual crib to them so that they could verify that it was a full-size crib.
Right. So we do that, and then
Oh, but hold on. Before we did that, though, we had asked, like, we've already been home study approved. Like, why can't they sleep in there? And they said if we were to leave with the baby at that point, they would remove the children from our home.
Yes, because we don't have an overcap, so we can't have the 3 children. But then they're over here at the hospital telling me like we can't
You can't stay
you can't
here.
stay here.
You can't
'cause
hold up a room because he's no longer a
discharge.
patient.
Yeah. And so the other lady that intake is like, well, I'll just call them and have them stay at night. But the problem is you can't admit a baby back to the NICU. If something happened, you have to go to like the children's hospital to more like a regular
Yeah.
pediatric floor or a pediatric ICU if they needed an ICU. But you can never go, once you leave, your baby never goes back to the
Well,
NICU.
we'd have to go to the ER.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if something happened like later on, but once you walk, like once you're discharged, you never go back to a NICU.
Anyway,
Like no baby gets
I
admitted.
do
to
want
a
to
NICU.
say though, the nurses at Altamont and the NICU were
They
completely
were fabulous.
jam up,
Yeah.
like completely understood the situation.
Yeah, they were.
And while like I can understand they're just trying to do their job, I do not feel that they put any additional pressure on us during that time.
Yeah, no, they were trying.
They were amazing.
They were trying. They were amazing.
So shout out to them,
Yes.
especially. I don't know if I can say her name.
Yeah, we'll leave it out.
Yeah.
So, placement lady calls us.
Mm.
Should I say her name? No, we'll just leave
Mm-mm.
this out. Okay, she was super sweet because she's trying so hard. I mean, she spent her Valentine's Day night doing this. So, shout out to her too. It was 11 o'clock and she called. And at that point, she had said, I'm going to call the hospital and like
It was 11,
figure something out. 10?
3, 4, 5, 6. No,
It was 10 then.
9. We spent 7 hours there. It was 10 by the time we got home after like they brought you down. And
I think it was later, but okay.
anyway,
Anyways,
she's right, obviously.
can you like tap? Should we tap that or no?
I don't know.
So then, that time comes and what do we do? So we decide to. Oh, so she calls us though, and she's like, "You were approved." She said, "I have good news." So I could not handle anything else. So we were approved.
We were approved. I mean, obviously, he's here.
Yeah. And then we were like so scared we wanted the piece of paper before we left there. So he's placed in our home.
100% we did.
We have had a tough first 48 hours.
So I will say, if you know me or if you've hung out with me for any length of time, I'm sure people that hang out with me get sick and tired of me praising my wife because she is the most amazing person. So all of this happened on Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
We spent from 2 and we didn't get home until like, I don't know, 11,
Yeah.
11:30, something like that. And then here we are. Our children are still awake. We had to put our kids away down.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't eaten. We didn't
Nothing.
have Valentine's, like nothing. And yet, like, we still managed to have a Valentine's together.
Yeah.
We put the babies down, or the kids down. We were up till, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe later than that. No, it was about 1:30, 2